Hello guys, in this video I'm going to be telling you how chess pieces move or how they work. So let's get started. The pawn can move either one square or two at the start of the game. If it moves one or two, then it cannot go two again, it can only go one. It cannot move backwards. The pawn can take pieces diagonally. And oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Pawns can do this. If there's a pawn over here on the second it moved two squares, the the opponent pawn that is beside it can go below it and just capture the pawn. That's how the pawn works. The rook moves only in straight lines. It cannot go diagonal, it can only go in straight lines. It can capture pieces like that. And at the beginning of the game, people tend to castle. If you want to castle, you got to remove all the pieces that are on to the squares that are blocking it, blocking the rook and the king. So when you castle, the king goes here, the rook goes over here. That's how the rook works. The bishop can only move in diagonals, can capture pieces only in diagonals. If a bishop is on a black square, it can only move on that black square. It cannot go to white squares like this. It can only go on black squares. So if there's a bishop that's on a white square, it can only go on the white squares and not the dark squares. That's how the bishop works. The knight is a chess piece that can only move in L's. Can also fork opponent pieces. What fork means is you can, if you put the king in check with this and there's another piece that the knight can go to, the king has to move because it's in check. So when the king moves, then that is not supposed to happen. So when the king moves, it can take the rook or any other piece there. That's how the knight works. The queen is the only piece in chess that can move in all, like it can move like a rook and a bishop combined. It can go diagonal and also in straight lines. It can take pieces that are very far away and also right beside. The queen can also fork, but if there's an enemy king there, and if there's like oh no, this is what's happening. If there's a bishop here, the king's in check and the queen is also targeting the bishop. So if the king just moves over here, the queen can just take the bishop. That is how the queen works. The king is the a piece in chess that is worth the entire game. For example, right now the king is in check, so the king has to take this piece. Unless if the piece is protected by another piece, it cannot take it because that is getting it into check. So it has to either move away, or if there's another piece over here can take this and do this. Checkmate. What checkmate is if the opponent king doesn't have anywhere to move anymore, and the moves, he cannot go anywhere, cannot move anywhere. That is checkmate. For example, I'm trying to make a checkmate over here. Yeah, this is a checkmate, or there's an easier checkmate for a king, or how to do one for a king that only requires the king and the queen. This is the king and this is the queen. This is checkmate because the queen is covering all these parts and the king is also in check. So that is checkmate. This is how the king works, and this is the end of the video. Goodbye.